Hi, my name is Michael Isom, and I am the owner and driver of the Mobbin Racing 2939 Pro Unlimited UTV. And it's been an incredible year for our team and I. We started out the year at the Parker 250 in January of 2019 with our Lone Star Racing built CanAm Maverick X3. And the car had proven itself. We had raced it for a couple of years, took a second place overall last year, had some great podiums, and we came out for the Parker 250, James Konces and I and our team, and we ended up winning that race. We had a few issues, axle, a few things like that, but pit crew had us in and out super quick, and we won the race. We took a first place in the season opener of this year. And then Phil Blurton and his team at No Limit, along with CanAm, got us this beautiful 2019 CanAm Maverick X3 No Limit built car ready for us February of this year. And James and I did a little bit of testing on it. We got a great wrap put on it by Union Graphics, and we were ready for the Mint 400. We came out, we had some great shock tuning with Fox and Wayne at Alltech, and we had the car prepped, ready to go, and we're off the line, and we're passing people, and about 33 miles into the Mint 400, we hit some things that, frankly, James and I just could not see.
Oh, shit! Oh.
And it ended up knocking James out for a few seconds, and we made some repairs. We limped it into the next pit. It took a couple hours to get there, and we made the repairs, and we were able to finish the race. And a little emotional thinking about it, because those of you that race off-road, you know what it takes to not only prep the car, prepare, practice, get everything to be able to get off the line, but to actually finish a race. There's just so many things that can happen during a long off-road desert race. And we regrouped mentally, physically, the car, and we finished the race. I think we took an 11th place at the Mint 400 this year. But super proud of the team to come together and to get us to the finish line, and for James to remain in the car, and for everyone to continue to believe in me behind the steering wheel. So we got done with the Mint 400. We licked our wounds from that. We prepped, got everything ready ourselves, the car, for the UTV World Championship. And that race is always an exciting race for us. We've won that race before. We had some great competition. Like, everybody comes to the World Championship and wants to test themselves, and themselves mentally, physically, their car, the machinery. And we ended up taking a very hard-fought second place finish at the UTV World Championship this year. And so we were proud of that, especially after what had happened at the Mint. The team and myself, James Konces and I, we were super proud of that finish. We regrouped, did some testing, made a few slight changes to the car, got it all prepped and ready to go. We were able to pre-run, participate in the pre-run for the Silver State 300. And we came out at the Silver State 300 and we had a flawless race. From the time we left the starting line, we made some really good passes early on, and we never got past. And we were able to win first place at the Silver State 300. So it's a huge celebration for us, especially coming off of the Mint and the World Championship and taking that momentum into the Silver State 300. We won the race, man. We had a flawless race. The car was incredible. It felt great. It handled amazingly well. These BFG tires, KMC wheels, and the Monster Sill is just the perfect combination. We have not had a flat all year. All season long, we have not had a flat with this setup. So we regrouped from that. We had the summer to do some really good practicing. Thank goodness my No Limit built pre-runner, CanAm, I was able to put in some good seat time, a couple thousand miles this summer, to prepare myself, James and I, to take on the infamous Vegas to Reno. So we decided to change things up this year for Vegas to Reno, and I've done that race twice before, and I've drove the entire race myself. And for those of you that have raced Vegas to Reno, you know what it takes mentally and physically, besides the machinery and the pit crew and everything else, to take on that race. But I decided as the team owner and driver to mix it up a little bit. And I asked James Konces, who's usually right next to me navigating, that I trust, he trusts me, we trust each other in these races. But I asked him if he would drive the last couple hundred miles of the race. He agreed, he was excited to. So I started the race with Carey McCandless. Carey is a great friend and a great mechanic of CanAm Motorsports here in St. George, Utah. He is a mechanic and he's a racer. He races in other series and he does really well. So Carey has a lot of seat time. He strapped himself in next to me and navigated as a co-driver. And we took off on Vegas to Reno. And we did the first 313 miles. We took it to pit 9. We had a great time. We were making lots of passes. We were physically in the lead by, I think, about 20 minutes at pit 9. And James Konces got in with David Woelfle. And James and David took it from pit 9, which was about mile marker 313 to the finish line, and secured a first place finish, man. There's some emotion going in to that race and coming out of that race, but pulling off that first place finish, even after David and James and David got rear-ended in that race and it scrunched the whole back end of our car in, they're still able to pull off a really good lead and a first place finish for Vegas to Reno. So going into Laughlin, the last race of the year, all we had to do was finish that race and we would win with the points lead that we had by the Parker race, despite the race we had at the Mint 400, but taking a second place at World Championship, a first at Silver State, a first place at Vegas to Reno. We just had to finish the race. So starting the race, for those of you that are racers, you know that it's one thing to start a race, but it's another thing to finish the race. And Laughlin was a night race, super exciting. We did it last year. We had a great finish there last year. And new car, new setup, but we'd gotten used to it the last few races. So we started the race with a mindset of we're gonna run our race. This is something that James says to me. So James is next to me as the co-driver navigator and he says, hey man, just run your race. And he'll say that when we start every single race. It's just a real calm feeling for me to hear that from him.
Run your race and we'll be up there. Just run your race. All right, man.
Let's do it.
Yep, be safe, run your pace.
For him to trust in me, for me to trust in him. So we started off the line and we decided to just run our race. We're gonna run a conservative but fast-paced race. It was super dusty, it was windy, it was rough as hell. And we won the race, man. We took a first place finish at the Laughlin night race, which would allowed us to secure the overall championship, which was our goal at the beginning of the year. We finished every mile of each race, despite the few issues that we had. We finished every mile. We're on the podium 5 out of the 6 races, and we were able to win the championship. It was an incredible feeling for the team and I to participate together. It's definitely a huge team effort. I acknowledge that I'm driving the car most of the time. James is driving a little bit. The co-drivers are doing their part. But behind the scenes, we have all these different pits set up at each one of the races. And there's volunteers, there's mechanics that come, and we just couldn't do it without them. And we couldn't do it without our trusted sponsors. I mentioned BFG and KMC and Monster Sail, but CanAm, I mean, for those of you that drive a CanAm, or you're thinking about it, it's just the most incredible car right off the showroom floor. I've got a new 2020 CanAm that I'm using as a pre-runner, and it's just so much fun just right off the showroom floor. So thank you, CanAm. Thank you, Best in the Desert. Thank you, Pit Crew. We've had an incredible season. Thank you, Maglock and all the other trusted sponsors that we have. Vision X Lighting, man, they just are incredible to work with. And having the sponsorship that we have allows us to participate in each one of the races that we participate in at such a high level. We're regrouping right now. We're getting ready for the 2020 season, and our goal is to come back and defend and secure the overall championship again in the Pro Unlimited UTV series in Best in the Desert.